What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Excuse me. Now before we get into today's video, the road to 200 subs is now officially over and now begins the road to 500 subs. And as I have said, in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. Excuse me. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, Swords of Revealing Light. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Tomb Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull my second ever Collector's Rare. Because it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a Collector's Rare, because I also pulled this fresh out of my Genesis Impact box opening from a few months back. I pulled this Collector's Rare Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely beautiful. I'm planning to get this card graded at some point. I just don't really know when exactly. Haven't really thought about when I want to get this graded, but with that being said, guys, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which ties into today's video, which is this: do you guys believe the Dragon Rulers could become a meta deck once again? Let me know down in the comments below. Excuse me. Because for today's video, I know this is gonna be this will be a relatively short video, but for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about a brand new Dragon Ruler Xyz monster, which is a V-Jump promo. Probably not gonna get its first reprint, if you will, until possibly like sometime later in the year, like maybe sometime like next year or something. But I am also going to be talking about the last batch of reprints that will be in the brand new structure deck Onslaught of the Fire Kings, which honestly, it's gonna be nuts. This is probably, I'm telling you, the Fire King structure deck, it's gonna be a nasty one. It is going to be nasty. We've already gotten, I think, Blaster limited to 1, and we've already gotten Tempest to 1, I think, didn't we? Give me a second, because I think we did. I think we got Blaster to 1 and Tempest to 1, if I remember correctly. So give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, you guys. Because if I remember correctly, we actually did. Give me a second. Here we are. View the list here. Let's see. This was the previous band list that we got back in June. Cyberstein Band. Super Heavy Samurai Scarecrow, which was kind of a hilarious one. Diablosis, that was pretty pretty expected. A Pointer of the Red Lows, Branded Expulsion. Yeah, Blaster and Tempest, right? Yeah, Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos, Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms, both got limited to 1, and the only two that we're missing that we're missing are Redox and Tidal, which it's not far off. It's not far off. There's no telling what can happen, but let's get straight into this really short video with the last of the reprints in the structure deck. So we have Infernal Flame Emperor, which is kind of an odd one in my opinion. Which is kind of a really like odd reprint in my personal opinion. but it is what it is. Dolgran, the Mad Flame Kaiju, that was pretty expected. The Blazing Mars, which is kind of another really like odd like Dragons of Legend reprint. It is what it is. Spirit of Flames, Fencing Fire Ferret, Alpha the Master of Beasts, which with how many reprints it's gotten, it's probably not going to be even worth it anymore. And then Chain Destruction, which is probably one of the worst reprints you could ever think of, honestly. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Honestly, the new cards that they're going to be in the structure deck, I think have the potential to help make the deck even more powerful than what it was 10, almost like a, literally like, excuse me, I want to say like almost like a decade ago. And what I find so unique about the Fire King archetype is that there's like no extra deck support for the deck. I feel like I'm saying it now. I will say it again. I feel like that we need extra deck support for the Fire King archetype. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. But now we move into the Dragon Ruler Xyz monster, which is known as Blaze, Supreme Ruler of Dragons. Excuse me. Which is a rank 7 Fire Dragon Xyz with 2,800 attack, 1,800 defense, and it requires 2 level 7 monsters. So this is probably one of the most generic rank 7 Xyz you will ever get. This card, I'm reading its effects to myself. And this card is absolutely nasty. This is one of the nastiest cards I have ever seen. First effect reads, once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, destroy one card in your hand or field, and one card your opponent controls. Second effect reads, you can banish 2 dragon and or fire monsters from your hand and or graveyard. Special summon this card from your grave, but return it to the extra deck when it leaves the field. Do you realize how crazy this deck, this card really is? Volcanics, Fire King, Fire Fists, Battling Boxer, Salmon Great, Red Eyes, those 6 decks are going to benefit so drastically from this card. I would say Dragon Link decks. The problem is that there aren't a whole lot of... if I remember correctly, there aren't any level 7s in the deck. From what I remember. And this card is absolutely nasty. Those 6 decks that I just brought up, including Red Eyes, Salmon Grade, Battle Boxer, all those decks are going to benefit so drastically from this card. This card is absolutely nasty. Not only can you break your opponent's board with this card, but it's basically a Dragon Ruler where you can summon this card back from your graveyard, but it goes back to the extra deck at the when it leaves the field. So even if your opponent were to activate a card like say Raigeki or something like that, instead of this card going to your graveyard, it goes back to your extra deck, which it's something that your opponent doesn't want to see. They don't want to see that. So obviously for you as the player who runs this card, you would need to run Dark Hole to ensure that this card goes back to your extra deck, and then you can resummon this card. Right, you can summon the card back from your extra deck right off the bat. This is probably going to be one of the most meta-defying cards that we've had in quite some time. I know for a fact, even though this is a V-Jump promo, I have no doubt in my mind that I would say within the next year or so, could be even less for all we know, this card is going to get a TCG reprint, and it ain't gonna be pretty. I don't know if this would be released in a Battles of Legends set, could be released in a structure deck for all we know. Maybe even like some random like deck build set or something like that. But honestly, this card is absolutely nuts. But with that being said, guys, I know this was relatively short, but I wanted to bring up, I actually wanted to talk about both this card and the reprints, just because of the fact that I've had these two stashed in my stashed in my list of bookmarks for quite some time, and I wanted to talk about these cards, but other than that, the Fire King structure deck, after talking about all the new cards, it has the potential to be meta. This card right here, this Dragon Ruler card, is going to be meta. I'm saying it now. I am saying it now. This card is going to completely change how people play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just that simple. But with that being said, guys, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.